friends, welcome back once again to Retro RPG Relaxation. I am once again Nick, and we are again playing Breath of Fire. So, we have returned to our burned out husk of a town, but are about to make our way out into the world for the first time, looking for Sara, the blue-haired lady who was taken away. But we don't really have any indication of what her relationship is to us. Ooh, alright. This is one of the tough things early on in the game through here. Fleas are one of the rougher enemies to face straight off the bat. They will mess you up. That is why we load up on herbs to begin with, because, man, 3 attacks while you got 1, and they can do potentially 3 damage. Not the best for your intro thing through there. So yeah, you have to be careful very, very early on through here to stay alive. This game is not very forgiving in that way. Unfortunate, but certainly true. And just one of the imperfections that you will have to accept when playing these old school games. You will also note that we are playing on the original Super Nintendo version, so all of the niceties like holding the B button to move really fast and all that sort of thing that they brought in the Game Boy Advance re-release, we do not have access to. We are just walking and going along through there. One of the other big changes that you may notice between the difference between this game and the re-release is in the first dungeon, which is coming up through there. We are not there yet. 10 experience. A much needed level up for our hero Dirk. You can see one of the kind of unique things for Breath of Fire in its time is animals in the outer world. At the moment, there's not really anything we can do except for freak that little pig out a little bit. Alright, so we are again popping through. A very, very much needed counter that should save us from a potential wipeout. You can see we're on 8 hit points. If 2 of them got 3 damage, if one of them got 2, we would be down just like that. Three and 2, so yeah. Could have been close there for our hero, but happily not yet. That little counter potentially saved our butts through there. So we are just walking back and forth through there. You saw that we were pretty much at the next town, but again, we are only just barely level 2. Now the deers get so freaked out if you can corner them like that, they will just explode, which, I mean, I am not a hunter, I am a vegetarian. But if somebody is just going to go into a corner and explode, I'm okay with taking their antlers afterward. Alright, so we will take advantage of the free healing here a little bit. Stay here, come back if you need a rest. Certainly appreciated. But yes, we want to get to probably level 3, maybe level 4 before we actually go in to the next town through there. Okay, this is more what we like to see. when we are popping on through here, 3 slimes. Now that we're level 2, they are only going to do 1 damage, and we can take them out in 1 hit. Oh, 2 damage. Slam. Along with counter, that is the other little thing that can happen sometimes where you get your critical hit, but Super Nintendo style, we're calling it slam instead of critical hit. So we've got counters, we've got slams. At the moment, only I, the hero, will be getting these counters and slams later on in the game. Not actually that much later. Some of the bad guys will be able to slam as well, which is certainly far from ideal. Okay, we are level 3. HP up 5, AP up 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, luck up 3. Alright. So, we get a little bit of progress through there. Let's check our things real quick. 23 out of 31. We're still fine. One flea as well. We can certainly deal with that. Oh, at level 3, strong enough to beat a flea in 1 hit? Yeah, we're pretty happy about that. Definitely cuts the time down. That tree looks a little bit different, like there's a little bit of fruit on it, but nothing we can do about that right now. So, Breath of Fire again, early RPG, not one of the like super early ones like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. Okay, these are our other early enemies through here. Fortunate Slam. They can pack a bit of a wallop. 3 damage there, even though I'm level 3 now. 4 damage there. And I believe they may be able to get a slam on. 7 experience though. Not too bad. Just under half health. We should be okay. Let's see. It doesn't tell you too much information sometimes. Again, not all of the quality of life features like, oh, how much to the next level, or that sort of thing. At least not that I remember off the top of my head. So, some of these things you just gotta roll with and deal with, but of course, I'm the one rolling with and dealing with them. You can just relax, because it is gonna be all right through there. So, hopping on through, taking down some slimes. We should be pretty decently close to level 4. So let's go in, up. Another town having hard times. Music is a little bit somber. Dark Dragon forces have invaded our land. They now control Nanai. Our hometown, Nanai, has been occupied by the Dark Dragons. Well, yeah, but what's this town called? Dirk, we should fight. When I was in Nanai, monsters kicked me out. I'm sorry I do not know you, friend. We escaped one dangerous situation, only to face another one. The castle has been occupied by putrid monsters. Oh, that is unfortunate. Fortunately, there's a hero who has made it into town to save the day, single-handedly as it is just me at the moment. We will save our game. We will wander on up. You want us to go up against monsters? You're crazy. That's fair. We need a strong fighter to chase the creatures from the castle. What are we gonna do about these stinking monsters? Dark Dragon family destroyed my kingdom. I must now rebuild. I don't fear the Dark Dragons, but I do fear to go into my castle. So, we all have things to be afraid of through there. As long as there's anything tucked around on either side of the castle there. Nope. Okay. In we go, and this is where we will find the second bit of kind of tough game design that got severely nerfed in the Game Boy Advance version, but is pretty rough through here. And the damage dealt by this fella through here is way more than what we were previously dealing with through there. 7 damage counter, but we got it. When we were gonna beat him with a hit anyway. But we got a herb, that's nice. So, this is our little quality of life saver, and the one reason we're going to be able to get through this dungeon. HP completely recovered. But once we run into the main enemy, which fills this dungeon, I'm going to show you. Speak of the devil. So, P-bugs, pill bugs, or poison bugs. We get to slam in, but these guys poison you every single time in the Super Nintendo version. Well, we've leveled up, which is certainly good, and will be necessary through there. But we get poisoned, we stay poisoned. Every step we take damage. So, if you're wondering where Pokemon got the idea for that annoying mechanic, you can thank in part this game. But in the Super Nintendo version, they'll actually just attack and only rarely use poison. Whereas in the Super Nintendo version, automatic poison every single time that you go up against them. And they are enemies that you can fight 2 or 3 at a time pretty regularly. So, not the most fun to deal with through there. So as long as we are next to our water source, we may do a little bit of leveling up through here. I like to get to maybe level 5 before we get to our boss. There will be some equipment in here, thankfully, that is going to help with the cause as well. But yeah, that poison is going to drain you, which is again why I had to load up on some antidotes back in the original town. Glue, these guys glitch out and go invisible. Oh, there he is. Haven't seen that before, but hey, nice that an old game can still surprise you a little bit through there. They will smack you, but they'll also use magic sometimes. So gotta make sure that you've got your hit points up above. I think it's 12. So that their lightning doesn't just knock you out. But it is good to get back into a game like this for the first time in quite a while. I tried to do a Let's Play series of this before, but this time I am going to be sticking with it. And you can count on that, because if I don't, I'm not going to be uploading it. So, you can count on me actually seeing this one through. We are going to go all the way to the end, because I am not going to start uploading these to YouTube until after we are a good chunk of the way through the game, so that I will know, yeah, we're on a good path and I'm going to be able to finish this. And if not, then this will never see the light of day. But That would be a shame, I think, because I am actually enjoying it. And being able to have a little chat, even if nobody talks back, can be a little bit fun sometimes. And he just disappeared again. There it is. Ooh. Man, the things that you remember from childhood, just 12 damage. So many things I don't remember and have a very poor memory for, but the Gloom and Breath of Fire dealing exactly 12 damage apparently is one of those core memories that's going to stay with me for my whole life. I mean, there are worse memories, I guess. Alright. 70 up. 70 up. Alright. We've got the Gip to get up and go. These creeps, again, I also remember to a point, mainly because they are the 12 12s. 12 experience, 12 gold. Okay, that is an important level up through there. Bringing us to level 5. That's about the level I want to be to fight our boss through here. If we get another one, wonderful. Ooh, we're faster than the beacon. We can beat it in one hit. We love to see it. So, alright, now we may pop on through here unless we find another round of 3 T-bugs, in which case we may have to backtrack a little bit to our fountain. I did buy, how many antidotes did I buy? 4. And I picked up an antler, which can also heal poison one time, but if I was just poisoned immediately right away, I would still walk back to. Alright. Nice little 7 jump in our attack there. We will take it. I never understood why these rooms, big and empty, were there when I was playing the first time through there. I would just walk around and walk around trying to figure out, is there a secret? Is there something? Oh, dropped an antidote. We're up to 5. Okay, that should be good. Take herb, take gauntlet. Okay. Another good old game, but one that we probably will not play. Okay, this actually pops up our defense to 28 and increases our action rate as well, so ticking multiple boxes through there. But yes, I would just walk around and around, just tapping A everywhere, walking around these little circle areas through here, or central, not circle. Man, not sure why those guys are disappearing. I would just walk around in circles, hitting A and searching through there, just sure that there must be something that I'm missing. There was not anything that I was missing. It was just a room. Yeah, well. You're a kid, you're in a world that you can actually go everywhere and explore everything in. That's pretty cool. And so, you do go everywhere. You do explore everything. That is part of the fun, I guess. Suede cape. Herb. I will say herb sometimes instead of herb. I know that it's actually said herb, but back when I was playing this the first time, my dear beloved father would always say, "Oh, you got herb! Herb, you got it!" And so on and so on. And so Yeah, that's one of the things that just sticks in my head through there, so thank you, Dad. I am very grateful that it doesn't pop up too much in my day-to-day life. Okay, 4 defense, 1 off of the action. 3 off of the action and 3 defense. Not ideal, but we'll take it. So yes, thanks, Dad, for messing up my vocabulary that little bit, but it is something that happily doesn't really seem to make its way out of when I'm playing Breath of Fire specifically. So, okay, level 5, experience 239, maybe 250 would get me to level 6, or it might be 300. Let's quickly check. If it's 250, just beating this dude is gonna... Nope. That's okay. I'm not poisoned, I've got my antidotes, so I'm not too afraid of just getting one more little level in there, of course. Like I'm speaking into existence, you fellas. I do appreciate the experience and the gold through there. Or again, since we're speaking of my dear father, Eeps and Geeps, as he called them. So, if you are a parent yourself, just remember that the things that you say will stick into your kids' minds. So, no pressure, but try and make sure that they are happy little things like that that don't really have any actual effect on their lives. Does not really come up in my day-to-day to deal with Eeps and Geeps. And again, this is something that pops up often in this game because in Breath of Fire in particular, they were very strict about character limit stuff. So 2 fights should get me to 300 and theoretically get me to level 6. If not, I'm still just going to go up anyway. 5 will be fine. Of course, we got the lowest experience guys both times, so we still need one more fight to bring us to that 300 level. Okay, 12-12. That will get us there. He's a creep. He's a weirdo. 10-10. That is not what you are supposed to give, friend. I have it burned in my brain. If you had given me 12 like you were supposed to, that would have been perfect. But no. We are instead 2 experience short. And that would just bother me. So, let's get one more fight in. Okay, come on, bird boy. Down goes the beak. Nope, we didn't make it, so okay. 300 is not our level up point. That is fine. We will throw a heal on. We will go upstairs. Oh, we are not actually in the final room as I suspected. Now, these 2 chests are a little bit of a bother. One of them is positively trapped, one of them is negatively trapped. I do not remember for the life of me which one is which, but I think this is the bad one. Loses AP. Okay. I mean, we don't have anything to do with AP right now anyway. Sproing covers HP and AP. Oh. Masterful play. Not to toot my own horn, but let's just use that Vigor Potion. Why not? Vigor's up by 1. There we go. Okay. Little frog on a throne there.
You have no reason to be in my castle. Ooh, get out.
A big frog.
Slime machines, you think you can drive me out? Go ahead, try.
Licking his lips is this frog to get at me. 7. Okay. The big thing is that his leap will do a good chunk there. 8 damage. So just gotta keep in mind 8. I think that he can do potentially up to 12. So we're on 18. He goes first. So we will need to heal up a little bit. Alright. So this is one of the less thrilling bits of battle through here, back when we only have one character. Oh, it's nice to get a miss in there though. So we are going back and forth in the classic JRPG style of taking turns hitting each other with swords or jumps, or whatever they are going to use, but we are the main guy. We use a sword, dang it. Oh. You know, it feels rude when the bad guy heals. That shouldn't be allowed, even though I used my healing item in the exact same turn. Just, that doesn't feel right. But I think we are doing more damage than he can heal. Especially if he takes a turn off to smack us like that. Counter? Nope. Frog seems alright. So, we've beaten stage 1 of Frog. He's about to do a good deal more damage. Even for his little attack like that. Deals 8 instead of 5. I think we can beat him in one hit, but yeah. Just,
oh, I underestimated your strength, warrior.
500. There we go. There's our level 6. And level 7. Beautiful. Wisdom 2, level 2. Ooh, level 8. We'd love to see it. I must have been pretty close to level 6. Left F, stun, which is a fire spell type thing. Foul air is filtering out and fresh air is coming into the castle. It's amazing that fresh air just makes torches magically disappear. Foul air torches. I hope the king does not mind that when he comes back, all of his treasure chests will be empty. I am just going to assume that the monsters actually went on through and took everything out of those chests and then put their stuff in instead. So it doesn't actually matter that I took everything that there was through there. But again, big rooms. Nothing in them. Why? And old habits die hard. I am still pressing A as I'm walking around that useless center room. Just in case. All of those years ago where I was doing that obsessively, I might have missed something. I would so dearly love for there to have been something, but no, it does not appear that we are going to be rewarded on that. But that's okay. Nice and easy to get back out of the castle through there. Now, ordinarily, maybe in a more modern game, you would just leave the empty dungeon that no longer has monsters or anything in it. But no, this is Breath of Fire. So we are going to walk the entire way back out. Quality of life, not necessarily great in the early 90s.
You defeated the monsters. You're not a false hero. Who are you?
That scar looks familiar. I don't think that ever comes up again in this game. Like, you can see that he has a scar on the box art, but I don't think that the king recognizing your scar.
Ooh. What a shocker. The Dark Dragons must have the Quake control.
There's a hidden palace in my dungeon. Find the Quake control. Please go there and put an end to these quakes. And if there was just a random earthquake, I don't think that the first thing I would do would be to blame the bad guys moving around next door. But maybe we were in a, like, stable tectonic region, so it is actually really weird to have an earthquake through there. But it's like, it seems a little bit to me like the whole saying of the Irish that whenever anything would be going wrong, like a building would be knocked down, and like, oh, how did that happen? And apparently the Irish were told, oh, Cromwell did it, blaming Cromwell for everything. So maybe the Dark Dragons are like Cromwell for this thing through there. I didn't know Dirk was such a great warrior. He could rid us of Zog. First off, you're talking about me like I'm not here. And second of all, I am literally level 7. You're very brave to take on the odious monsters of the castle. Our hometown and I has been occupied by the Dark Dragons. Did you feel that? The ground shook. We've never had earthquakes before. This guy does not care about us beating all the monsters or anything else. Just Dark Dragon occupation. The only thing on his mind. I guess it would be difficult to move on from that. So now we are just gonna crush these slimes as they come. They're going to give us precious little experience, precious little gold. But yeah, getting the sword and everything from that dungeon has made us significantly meaner around here. For the Garrett Trash enemies that were really pushing us around earlier and making us have to go back to the start of town to rest, now we can just body them bit by bit. Okay, cross our bridge through there. Interesting emblem on the ground there that we will not know what to do with until much, much, much later in the game. One of the things about this game is that it is going to show you some stuff that it does not pay off for a very, very long time. Again, we'll drop in some antlers. Sure, why not? See, back to 12. That's what we were looking for before, but your buddy, he shorted us out of 2 experience. And this is also one of the games that, or one of the first games that I remember having that real day-night cycle. And it actually does like come up and is important for some things like that. 7 experience and 10 gold. Heaps and heaps.
vault intruders who goes there.
Now, I can't fight them or do anything, so the game is telling me I can't just storm in and fight all of the Dark Dragons myself. It says, hey, we're trying to play a game here, but you are still level 8, so maybe don't try to take on the entire army all at once. Wouldn't necessarily go well for our hero. So, okay, fair enough. But this is where that day-night thing that we were just talking about comes into play, because we are going to need to wait for nightfall to get into the Dark Dragon's town. Which means we are going to be fighting some fleas and slimes a little bit through there as we walk around to advance the time. There are some things that we will get a little bit later in the game that will make that process a little bit easier for us. Okay. Because there are a lot of things in this game that do indeed happen at specific times of day. And again, a nice little mechanic, or I don't know the name or the year that this came out in. I think 1991. I could be entirely wrong. Probably 93 or something like that. Maybe even later, who knows? But 91 is what pops into my head, so okay, now it's starting to get a little bit darker, so we can make our way back towards the city. Nope, not yet. Got 3 shades darker. Nope. Don't be so impatient. This is a relaxing games channel after all. So, these soldiers now minding the gate. We just need them to relax a little bit too. There we go. Just like that. Imagine just passing out on the ground like that, though. So, convenient save point. Early stealth game where if you get too close to the soldier there, they are going to take you in. So, gotta sneak your way through. You can still go into some of these empty houses and help yourself, because this is, again, an early JRPG. It is expected that you would go into somebody's house and just take everything that's there. I do not recall if there's another bar in the game, so I'm not sure if they made that sign literally just for that one building, or if they use it again. I don't remember where it is or would be, so I'm thinking that may be the only time, which is a lot of effort to put into a sign. Okay. What we really want is that long sword. have things that we can sell to get enough. What if we sold our namesake? No, we don't have enough. Drat. What is a little bit of a rough one through there? So we can buy some things for people who are not part of our party yet. That longsword definitely does make a difference, though. Maybe we can go and get a little bit of money and then come back out. This house doesn't even have 300 gold sitting out there for us to take. What a shame. Super early stealth. Oh. Is there anything I need up here? This is one I don't remember. No, it's just beds and stuff. I think it's the same for the other side. So let's pop on down. Depending on how tough the enemies are, I may pop back up and grab that sword. Nice little music change. Magma. Land through there. Glooms are still invisible, but that's okay. Not all gloom and dour things are things that you can see. Does not make them any less real or valid to deal with. So now those big enemies who solo the last dungeon are now paired up. The big thing that I remember from this one is that you get 2 beaks in the gloom in the same little set, and that can be a little bit frustrating. Okay, now we've got some money. How much did we need? 2200 or 2250. We've got enough. We're not too far in yet. So, yeah, let's pop back and get it real quick. It'll help my completionist soul. It is nice that there's not a lot of stuff in here that will poison you. Alright. Back up here. Let's check upstairs just to make sure. Just a throne room. Yep. More beds over here. Oh, a single torch. I'm not sure whether I'm pleased or not with that. Who keeps shutting this gate? I don't know. They can't find me like 3 squares away, but they shut that gate every time and then never leave anyone to guard it. Let's... Like, the thing looks like a barbell. which is all I've always assumed that it is. I'm not really sure why a barbell is used for trade. Barbell for barter? Who knows? Okay. We got what we wanted. Because no JRPG protagonist is happy without a really big sword. I mean, sure, we've got blue hair, but without a long sword, just doesn't feel quite right. Okay. Now here we go, improper. Going on down, and we are going to do... You know, I did just say there aren't a lot of things that poison you down here. So you guys are just straining my credibility with the audience. Not actually appreciated. But that's okay. We've got antlers. We've got some antidotes. Now, there are two paths. I don't recall which one is the treasure one and which one is the one that takes us where we want to go to advance in the dungeon. I think this is where we want to go first. Guys, come on. Okay, well, I may have had an error, perhaps. I will need more antidotes than I actually have. Because these guys, yeah. Super Nintendo version, they do not do any damage at all. And they just poison you over and over and over. And once you get out of there, it's just going to poison you every single step you take. Far from ideal. But we are packing a wallop, which is exactly what we want. Beastin'. Yes, we are beasting it. We don't try to run too much, but I will try to run from these guys when they pop up because my precious, precious credibility. This is just the second episode, guys. Come on. Cut me a break. Well, we can't do that, Nick. It's just... It is the Super Nintendo, so we are gonna just have to be really, really difficult. And just make your quality of life a little bit more difficult. Because we don't want you beating the game all in one rental from Blockbuster. We really want you to have to buy it. Well, did not go the right way to get the chest. That's okay. We will deal. We are packing a nice little wallop now. How come the poison bugs don't ever miss? How about that? Okay. Get a little bit of the money back that we spent on that sword. Normally we can auto battle. this point, but for these guys, gotta make sure to take out that Gloom first, because we don't want to take that 12 damage hit. We do get some decent experience from wiping out the group of them, though. Arm pad. Is that a shield? What's armor? Armor that boosts defense and is going to make us a little bit faster. Hopefully that will help us run away from poison bugs that we encounter in the future. That's the goal and the dream. So guys, our goal in this stream, we are going to go through to the point where we beat this particular boss. That is where we'll call the end for this video. Trying to give you a long one, save you from too many YouTube ads. But also not just punishing my terrible Australian internet and having to upload an 8-hour Breath of Fire playthrough or anything like that. So, trying to serve two masters, best of both worlds sort of thing. We will find a happy medium at some point, I am sure. Right, another Destin. I assume it's Bolt Sting, Flame Sting, and that's what the Stin is standing for, but I don't know for sure. Again, Breath of Fire really kind of ran into character limit issues that you don't notice as much in Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. We got the T-Bolt. It's not appreciated in Visible Gloom. Alright, giant stairway. Let's take care of these guys quickly. Don't think that we're going to get to level 9. That's okay, we've got the long sword. So we should be totally hunky-dory. Let's take the opportunity to heal up. Who disturbs my privacy? I'm taking over the world with this machine, and no one can stop me. So, on to boss number 2, the Knight. Yeah, that health bar moves a lot slower than the frog, which is, again, one of the nice things about making sure that we got that long sword, just to make sure. So we are faster than this guy, thankfully, which means that I can hit even though we were on 29 hit points, and he can deal 28 damage with that lightning attack, because I know I will have the opportunity to pop a heal before he can hit me with 2 of those bad boys. How bold do I want to be? Let's hit him again. I'm going to be bold. Okay, hands and knees. Not the place we want to be against a boss. But we're gonna fight and we will make it through. Already making good progress, about halfway through stage 1. This is probably the first game that I've played with multi-stage bosses as well. So Dirk, our hero, knock our opponent down into the purple. So again, making progress, but definitely frustrating when he can just knock us all the way down like that with the lightning. That sword is dealing a bit more damage now that he's in the purple. Bosses later in the game don't actually heal as much, which makes it kind of annoying that the first two bosses in the game both heal. I guess they just want to make sure that you know that we can. You just choose not to put that ability on every single fight that you get. But we totally could. So we are going to slowly wear down his magic power, we hope. Get him to a point where he does not heal anymore. Now, if you've played Breath of Fire before, you know that you could speed things up a little bit by using that Efstin and Beastin that we've picked up. But honestly, this boss isn't really worth it, because there is a boss a little bit further on that is definitely going to warrant our attention and items. Okay, yeah, he is not popping off those heals and thunderbolts at the same rate before. But we want to make sure that we are as healed as possible before the next stage. Ah. Ooh, slam. We've been waiting for one of those. Oh, and the counter. Okay. 700 eeps, 500 eeps. Okay, so how could this be? I've been defeated. Ah. The machine is generating a strange noise. Find a key. Will you take it? One of those questions that they will ask you, but the game isn't going to let you advance until you take it. Dirk pulled the key from the machine. Oh. We're quaking, we're gated to the teleporter. Uh-oh. I hope we had insurance. As we suspected, the device within the palace was causing the quakes. Let's go, Dirk. The king is waiting for us. Hopefully not to execute me for destroying the city. You gave up Nanai to destroy the forces of the Dark Dragons. It was a tough choice to make. The results show that you're a true hero. Hooray! Not going to be executed. Travel east to Winland. There you'll find a cave to another kingdom. I wish you could stay, but I know destiny leads you elsewhere. Good luck, warrior. Thank you. You saved our kingdom. Find a cave to another kingdom. I never should have enlisted as a soldier. I am not cut out for it. Well, it's a good thing to realize. Please come back safe, warrior. Our confidence is in you, brave warrior. We must stay here and rebuild. Yeah, the town is pretty worn out. So, guys, we have done 2 bosses, we've done 2 dungeons. I appreciate you for sticking with us on this. We are going to call it for right now. I appreciate you joining in, watching, and remember, you are a friend of mine by sticking it out. So, guys, thanks so much, my friends. See you next time.